What do y'all have favorite words for genitalia?
This is a great question. Gosh,
I
that's
really like cock and pussy.
yeah. I like dick, but I guess that's the cold open for the episode.
Yeah. This is Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast where friends read poems to each other just to see what happens. My name is Tom. This was my idea. Today is another special three-friend episode as we're joined by the amazing and hilarious Nellsyn Hill. Nellsyn shares a poem by Pablo Neruda. Paul reads one by Heather McHugh, which will explain all the potty talk. Listen, this one's not for when you're taking the kids to school, folks, so strap in and let's read some poetry.
I just thought this is an amazing poem by Heather McHugh. All right, so I'm going to go with it here. It's called I Knew I'd Sing. A few sachet, a few finagle, some make whoopee, some make good, but most make squat. I tell you, this is what I love about America, the words it puts in my mouth. The mouth where once my mother rubbed a word away with soap. The word was cunt. She stuck that bar of family size in there until there was no hole to speak of, so she hoped. But still, I'm full of it. The cunt, the prick, short U, short I, the words that stood for her and him. I loved the thing they must have done, the love they must have made to make an example of me. After my lunch of ivory, I said vagina for a day or two, but knew from that day forth which word struck home like sex itself. I knew when I was big, I'd sing a song in praise of cunt. I'd want to keep my word, the one with teeth in it, forevermore. And even after I was raised, I swore nothing but nothing would be beneath me.
That was fun.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, this is the one I wanted because it's the shortest one. Okay.
Well, should we talk more about cunt?
Well, tell
Yeah.
me again. I wasn't listening to you, Paul, at all. Tell me,
So
I mean, I heard the word many times. Care to elaborate?
I've been working on a poem because when I was real little, the first time I ever got in trouble for a word was I was in the sand in the playground and I used a stick
Uh-huh.
and I wrote fuck. And another kid saw it and ran to my mom and was like, look at what he did. And
Nice.
I remember my heart like pounding, like, oh no, I've done it now.
Yeah.
What have I summoned into being with my words, like God?
Yeah.
Uh, and my mom came and she saw it and she was like, we're going to have to talk to your dad. And we went home in silence. I think she was probably crying.
Cool.
And my dad was working on the car or something. And then it was like, tell him what you did.
Oh my goodness.
Tell him what you did. And it was like, I spelled a bad word in the sand. And,
And
my
there was
dad was,
only one set of footprints.
there was only one set of, and it didn't end in a beating or a spanking or anything. It just ended with like, go to your room and think about what you did.
Oh, gladly.
Yeah.
That's when I would be putting on like 10 pairs of underwear to prepare for the beating.
Yeah. I'm ready. Bring it.
I remember you reminded me of, I think it may have been like the third grade, or around that time. I said the word shit during recess while we were playing, sports games. And someone told the teacher that I said it, and I had to write sentences. Did you ever have that punishment to just write the same sentence over and over again? It was like Bart
Like
Simpson
Bart Simpson.
yeah, it's Bart
Very,
Simpson.
yeah.
And I remember going to bed and then getting up after everyone was asleep and doing it.
I had never even heard the word cunt until high school. But I did say in the Burger King play area,
Uh-huh.
I was probably like 9. My dad, put the meals on the table. I don't know where my mom was, but it was me and my sisters. And I bite into my burger and I go, I didn't want all this shit on my burger. Like exclaimed it for the whole, like all the
Oh, that's
families.
fantastic.
And my dad just looked at me flabbergasted. And
Yeah.
he like didn't even think that I knew that word. And I was like, what? Grandma Hill says it all the time.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, get on my burger. Nelson, I haven't done a proper introduction. We are joined. It's a special Three Friends episode. Lest we forget, we're recording this thing. And we're joined by my good friend Nelson. Hi, Nelson. Thank you for
Hi
being
there,
here.
Tom. Hey, Paul. I'm so happy to be here. It's an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, I have no idea what order all of this will go in, but
So yes, when you first asked me, and I was aware of your podcast, and I was like, if Thomas ever asked me, this is the one I would read.
that's
I love this Pablo Neruda poem, and it's called Epithalamium. And I used to read this when I would get really drunk in college at parties because I'm really fun like that.
Who else feels like reading a poem?
it's
I'm so blessed.
Like, what a weird thing to do. When you're
Oh,
a theater kid, I guess
yeah,
that's.
exactly.
Do you remember when, in winter, we reached the island? The sea raised toward us a crown of cold. On the walls, the climbing vines murmured, letting dark leaves fall as we passed. You too were a little leaf that trembled on my chest. Life's wind put you there. At first, I did not see you. I did not know that you were walking with me until your roots pierced my chest, joined the threads of my blood, spoke through my mouth, flourished with me. Thus was your inadvertent presence, invisible leaf or branch, and suddenly my heart was filled with fruits and sounds. You occupied the house that darkly awaited you, and then you lit the lamps. Do you remember, my love, our first steps on the island? The gray stones knew us, the rain squalls, the shouts of the wind in the shadow. But the fire was our only friend. Next to it we hugged the sweet winter love with 4 arms. The fire saw our naked kiss grow until it touched hidden stars, and it saw grief be born and die like a broken sword against invincible love. Do you remember, O sleeper in my shadow, how sleep would grow in you from your bare breast open with its twin domes toward the sea, toward the wind of the island, and how I, in your dream, sailed free, in the sea and in the wind, yet tied and sunken in the blue volume of your sweetness. Oh, sweet, my sweet, spring changed the island's walls. A flower appeared like a drop of orange blood, and then the colors discharged all their pure weight. The sea reconquered its transparency. Night in the sky outlined its clusters, and now all things murmured our name of love. Stone by stone, they said our name and our kiss. The island of stone and moss echoed in the secret of its grottos like the song in your mouth, and the flower that was born between the crevices of the stone with its secret syllable spoke as it passed your name of blazing plant, and the steep rock, raised like the wall of the world, knew my song, well-beloved, and all things spoke of your love, my love, beloved, because earth, time, sea, island, life, tide, the seed that half opens its lips in the earth, the devouring flower, the movement of spring, everything recognizes us. Our love was born outside the walls, in the wind, in the night, in the earth, and that's why the clay and the flower, the mud and the roots know your name, and know that my mouth joined yours because we were sown together in the earth, and we alone did not know it, and that we grow together and flower together, and therefore, when we pass, your name is on the petals of the rose that grows on the stone. My name is in the grottos. They know it all. We have no secrets. We have grown together, but we did not know it. The sea knows our love. The stones of the rocky height know that our kisses flowered with infinite purity, as in the crevices a scarlet mouth dawns, just as our love and the kiss that joins your mouth and mine in an eternal flower. My love, sweet spring, flower, and sea surround us. We did not trade it for our winter, when the wind began to decipher your name, that today, at all hours, it repeats, when the leaves did not know that you were a leaf, when the roots did not know that you were seeking me in my breast. Love, love, spring offers us the sky, but the dark earth is our name. Our love belongs to all time and the earth. Loving each other, my arm beneath your neck of sand, we shall wait as earth and time change on the island, as the leaves fall from the silent climbing vines, as autumn departs through the broken window. But we are going to wait for our friend, our red-eyed friend, the fire. When the wind again shakes the frontiers of the island and does not know the names of everyone, winter will seek us, my love. Always it will seek us because we know it, because we do not fear it, because we have with us fire forever. We have earth with us forever, spring with us forever. And when a leaf falls from the climbing vines, you know, my love, what name is written on that leaf, a name that is yours and mine, our love name, a single being, the arrow that pierced winter, the invincible love, the fire of the days, a leaf that dropped upon my breast, a leaf from the tree of life that made a nest and sang, that put out roots, that gave flowers and fruits. And so you see, my love, how I move around the island, around the world, safe in the midst of spring, crazy with light in the cold, walking tranquil in the fire, lifting your petal weight in my arms, as if I had never walked except with you, my heart, as if I could not walk except with you, as if I could not sing except when you sing.
I also like the word dong.
I almost spilled my tea, Tom.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Holy shit, Nelson, that was just beautiful.
I love that one. I'm sorry, I know it's long.
No.
So you would do that drunk?
You would do that drunk?
Yeah, thanks, Pablo.
Absolutely. You know, the first time I heard Pablo Neruda was Rent.
Oh, yeah, in the
Yeah, I mean, that's
big
pretty late,
showstopper.
but I had not heard of Pablo Neruda until that song.
To Uda.
To Buddha. To Buddha. To Buddha?
Pablo
Is it Buddha?
Neruda. To
Pablo Neruda too.
Uh-huh.
To sodomy, it's between God and me.
That
To
was one where
SNL.
I was in a friend's living room and I said to leather, to dildos and curry vindaloo, and their
Yeah.
parents were like, who is this person in our house?
This has been Two Friends, Two Poems, the podcast where friends read poems to each other. A very special thank you to our friend Nellsyn Hill for sharing her time and talent. We had so much fun, it has to be another episode, so be sure to catch part 2. And thanks for hanging in there with us. Now go write a poem.
Goes down smoother than fear. I'll have a beer. Pour me another one. I need to have some fun. I'm cool with everyone. appear. Maybe one last cigarette.